The young monk sat beneath the old Bodhi tree, his face clouded with frustration. His eyes were restless, his hands trembling. "Master," he said, "my mind never stops. Even when I close my eyes, it runs in every direction. Past mistakes, future worries, things I should have said, things I might lose. How can I ever find peace when my thoughts won't leave me alone?" The master looked at him calmly, the faintest smile playing at the edge of his lips. "Bring me a cup of tea," he said. The young monk obeyed, though confused. As he began to speak again, complaining about his endless thoughts, the master slowly poured tea into the cup. The liquid reached the brim, but the master didn't stop. It spilled over, running across the table and onto the floor. "Master!" cried the monk. "Stop! The cup is already full." The master looked into his eyes and said softly, "Exactly. Your mind is like this cup, so full of thoughts, fears and opinions that there's no room for anything new. How can peace enter when your cup overflows with noise?" Silence fell between them, heavier than words. That night the young monk sat alone, replaying the master's words. "A full mind cannot receive." He closed his eyes and tried to silence his thoughts, but the more he tried, the louder they became. Images of the past flooded in, regrets, unfinished conversations, mistakes. Then came the worries, the future, failure, time running out. He clenched his fists. "Stop," he whispered to himself. "Stop thinking!" But the mind doesn't stop when commanded. It quiets only when observed. Days later, the master found the young monk sitting still, breathing deeply, trying again to silence his mind. "Master," he said, "I tried to stop thinking, but my thoughts fight back. What am I doing wrong?" The master picked up a nearby bowl of water and stirred it with a stick until it became cloudy. "When the water is agitated," he said, "you can't see your reflection. But if you let it rest..." He placed the bowl down. The mud settles and clarity returns on its own. The young monk stared at the bowl as the water slowly cleared. The master continued, "You cannot stop the mind by force, just as you cannot clear muddy water by stirring. Let it rest. Watch the thoughts pass without chasing them. Let them settle by themselves." That evening, the young monk began to practice in silence. He sat beneath the same tree, letting thoughts appear and fade like clouds drifting through the sky. At first, the storm inside was loud. Regret shouted, worry echoed, fear whispered. But he didn't fight them anymore. He simply watched. Minutes turned to hours. Gradually, the storm quieted. Between one thought and another, he began to feel something he hadn't felt in years. Space, stillness, peace. The next morning, the master asked, "What did you find in your silence?" The monk smiled faintly. "Nothing," he said, "and yet it felt like everything." The master nodded. "That is the power of emptiness. People fear the void, but it is not a lack. It is freedom from what's unnecessary. When your mind becomes light, wisdom flows naturally. An empty mind doesn't react, it simply understands." He then pointed to the rising sun. "Do you see the light spreading across the sky? It doesn't force the darkness away. It just shines, and the darkness disappears on its own." Weeks passed. The young monk's face grew serene. He still thought, still felt, but no longer drowned in it. When problems appeared, he asked himself, "Can I act now?" If yes, he acted. If not, he let it go. He no longer carried yesterday's pain or tomorrow's fear. Each moment became enough. The master saw him and said, "You have learned to see the mirror beneath the dust." "The mirror?" asked the monk. "Yes," said the master, "the mind is a mirror. Every thought is a speck of dust. You don't polish the mirror by adding more, by thinking positive or negative. You polish it by not adding anything at all. When you stop reacting, the dust settles. Then the mirror reflects truth." The monk looked at the sky, vast, open, and still. For the first time, he felt that his thoughts were just passing clouds. The sky didn't try to stop them. It simply remained itself, boundless and calm. The master's voice echoed within him. Do not fear emptiness. It is not the end of thought. It is the beginning of awareness. From that day, the young monk walked with a quiet strength. Life still tested him, challenges still appeared, but his inner sky remained clear. He understood now. A full mind sees confusion. An empty mind sees truth. Because freedom doesn't come when you think more. It comes when you finally stop trying to control every thought and start listening to the silence that has always been there, waiting beneath the noise.